this is Brendan Wilmington of the Left Turn Network, and welcome back to another Lumen Stock Car Invitational race, season number 4, race number 23, here at the Michigan International Speedway. It's been a while since we've run a Michigan race. It was race number 7 of the season last year, and this is one of several tracks that have gone from an early season race to a late season race. And we kind of mentioned, if you remember, all the way back towards the start of the season, there were a lot of tracks that did the opposite, like Homestead Miami, which was a late season track that got moved to the early season. Well, Michigan is one of several tracks that have made the opposite track. We're also going to be going to North Wilkesboro soon, as well as the season finale at Las Vegas and Willow Springs, all early season tracks that are now late season tracks and thus have higher stakes, I guess, in terms of the championship. Even though the championship, again, it has not been very, it has been a runaway for Tim Berry. They are slowly eating into his lead, though. So maybe if something happens to him this week, then that could make things interesting in the title race once again. But for now, really what we're interested in is just who's going to win the race. From this point on, we're getting close to wrapping this season up. Joining alongside me in the booth this week is Caleb Rose. And Caleb, you know all about this version of Michigan, especially considering the Turkey Hill Truck Series race that was ran here a little bit. Are we expecting the same level of chaos to come from this race?
Well, of course, it is Michigan. You never really know what you can really expect from this racetrack, but yeah, definitely can produce some very, very chaotic but very fun racing, like we did see there over in the Turkey Hill Truck Series a little while ago. But definitely might expect it to be a little bit different. Of course, the Turkey Hill Truck Series was ran in clear weather, but today it's good cloudy here at this racetrack, so it definitely could calm things down a little bit. But still, like I said, it's Michigan. Anything can happen theoretically, and we could still potentially see some chaos. Will we, though? We'll just have to wait and see how it all goes down. But something that I can think would be a guarantee is that we're definitely in for a very fun race.
Absolutely. And they're going to be flying around this place. If you guys thought they were going fast at Daytona, they are. I seen them go over 210 miles an hour going into turn one. There was a qualifying lap I was watching from Nathan Buchanan where he hit 208 across the start finish line. This is probably the fastest track on the schedule. And I do believe that last year's race at Michigan was the fastest LSCI race ever ran. That race went caution free, uh, and was run in similar conditions to that one. Tim Berry won that race, but he's starting pretty deep in the field. Uh, and in terms of upset winners, we've had a few of them as of late. Of course, Joanna Clark has won a couple of races. Kate Summers won a race, and then just recently, Adrian Wheeler won at Talladega. Is there potential for more upset winners here today? Or do we think somebody that's already won this season is going to be going to victory lane again?
I mean, qualifying was definitely a very interesting session. Saw a lot of drivers who I don't usually see up towards the front battling for the pole position. So I definitely think we could maybe see the opportunity. It may be a potential upset. You had Adrian Pearson, who was on the top of the board there for quite a little bit. Both of the Diamond Motorsports cars looked relatively quick in qualifying as well. And just, yeah, I definitely think we could maybe see some shakeups here at this race. But like I said, never really know what you can see here in this one, so it'll definitely be intriguing to see who does wind up in victory lane once everything is said and done.
All right, let's go through your starting lineup here. Darren Walker is starting on the pole for Walker Brothers of Racing, and alongside him, like you mentioned, Caleb, Adrienne Pearson starting on the front row. This is a great start for her. She finished top 10 at Talladega, so she's trying to back up that run here with another good run here today at Michigan. Row number 2, the 99 of Akia Tajima and the 66 car of Tyler Landry. Row 3, Billy Smith in the 88 and Kevin DuPont, your defending champion in the one who still has yet to win a race this season. Again, very surprising. He has been the third best Walker Brothers racing car, so I mean, he's getting outrun by his teammates. He hasn't won yet. So DuPont has definitely been struggling for his standards, at least this season. And I'd imagine he'd be pretty hungry to get a win on the board. Couple of surprises in row 4, Cooper Spur, but even more surprising than that, Tamarin Bellinger. I would not be surprised if this is Bellinger's first top 10 start of the season. I can't verify that right now, but This 65 car has been the worst full-time car in the league. Bellinger's best finish was last week at Talladega, where they finished 16th. So a top 10 here would be fantastic for that team just to get their confidence up. Row number 5, Jake Sidney in the 19, alongside Lakin Herndon in the 39, who surprisingly hasn't gone to victory lane yet. I believe he has 12 top 10s on the year. Only 4 top 5s, though, and again, no wins. So he's really just been super consistent, but not necessarily having winning pace most of the time. But he's starting in the top 10 right here, so he'll have a chance here at Michigan. Then row number 6, a couple of Motor Racing Ventures cars. Jacob Lopez in the 50 and the 55 of Michael Harvin. Holly Martin in the 6th car alongside the 79 of Kobe Hollenbeck. 58 car, that's Joanna Clark alongside the 3 of George Bryan. Then it's the 77 of JT Boyd and the 13 car of Damon Kirby. Adrian Wheeler, your Talladega winner by 8/1000ths of a second. The closest finish in LSCI history. That was last week's race. And he's going to be starting mid-pack here at Michigan. Then you got the 52 car of Ashley Blake alongside him. JB Chanot in the number 29 alongside the 81 car of Jack Gino. And then the new fiancés, Lulu Connie and Karina Willis Calloway, are going to be starting in the same row here. Row number 11, I believe. Or no, I think it's row number 12. Row 13 is Laurie Jackson in the 9 and the 18 car of Zach Dearman, the closer. He has not been that great at qualifying this year, but he sure has been good at finishing the races. Kate Summers and Tim Berry in row number 14. Another lackluster qualifying run for the 11, but I imagine we'll see him up at least in the upper middle part of the field by midway, because that's just what he's been doing all season long. Vinny Scholes in the 62, who had her first D&Q last week. The struggling qualifying continues for the 62 car, but at least she made the race this time. And alongside her is the 08 of Nathan Buchanan, and it was just announced not too long ago that Nathan Buchanan will be going full-time cup racing next season with Patriot Racing Incorporated. They're opening up a third car. They're going to have the number 15. Montana Sherman is going to be the car owner. So a lot of exciting stuff for Nathan Buchanan. And of course, Buchanan also has the championship in the amateur series to look forward to as well, fighting for the championship at least. And yeah, a lot of exciting stuff for Nathan Buchanan, including starting this race. Not the greatest of qualifying runs, though, so we'll have to see how he rebounds. Then we've got the 85 of Charlie McCarron alongside the 16 of Corbin Taps, second place in points. The 45 of James Harvin and the 57 of Shauna Everett. And rounding out the field is the 2 car of Spencer Rallison. And let's just say at the start of the year, I did not expect the 2 car would end up taking a points provisional at some point, but that's what's happened here. Martin Swain race team, I think they're ready to go full time, honestly. I mean, they pretty much have been full time since the Lumen 500, but I mean, like for a full season with a full season driver. Anyway, we had 2 D&Qs for this race. Unfortunately, Andrew Kreider D&Q'd again. That 70 car has been having a lot of trouble making the races lately. And the 36 of Sophia Miller Lee also didn't make the race. It's going to be a 50-lap race. I'm expecting 1 pit stop in this race, but if we get some yellows, that could open the door to some pit strategy. And yeah, things can get pretty crazy here at Michigan. Last year's race was pretty good. It went caution-free, but there was a lot of hard battling for the lead, especially at the end. So maybe we'll get some more of that here today and add on to the long list of incredible races that we've had here in season number 4.
Drivers, start your engines!
And the field will roll off the backstretch here at Michigan International Speedway. No issues for anyone on the grid. Caleb, who do you think's going to win the race today?
Honestly, I kind of like where that one of Kevin DuPont starting here inside of the top 5. Definitely would look out for that one car today. Your reigning champion, I believe, still looking for his first win on the season, and I think he's got a good shot at it here today.
Yeah, Kevin DuPont still looking for his first win of the year. He is 14th in points right now. Again, like I said, the lowest of the Walker Brothers racing cars, which is a bit of a surprise, but this could definitely be a good track for Kevin DuPont, a track that he could win at. And his teammates starting on pole here. Darren Walker in the 8 alongside Adrian Fearson. The pace car will pull into the pit lane. And we are green here at the Michigan International Speedway. Coming out of turn number 4, Tyler Landry's going to try and complete the slide job on the 8, and they're going to be 3 wide for the lead as he was unable to. He did lead the first lap though, but Darren Walker powering around the outside lane. The outside lane is pretty strong on the front straightaway here, and you want to be in the middle lane, especially in turns 1 and 2 here through the corners. So very interesting in terms of which lanes are dominant on this racetrack, a bit unconventional, but that can lead to some crazy racing, as we're seeing right here on the start. The 99 is going to try and push the 8. The 8 checks up in the corner, but then the 66 checks up, and it's 2 against 1 here for the lead. The 8's going to try and get pushed back out front on lap number 2.
Very slippery racetrack here is the Michigan International Speedway, so definitely makes for some very interesting racing and very interesting lines as well. Darren Walker in the 8, holding on to the race lead here for the time being. Tyler Landry trying to stick to the quarter panel, but he's going to slot back in line as Walker will clear for the race lead. Tajima's clear for 3rd, and first battle on track there side by side for 4th between Kevin DuPont and the 88 of Billy Smith. Tajima, though, goes wide. Nearly gets clipped there by Smith, but the 88 will stay in behind the 99. But yeah, just incredible racing that we usually see at this racetrack, and definitely already seeing it here early on as they go 3 wide behind these 2 back here.
Adrian Fearson trying to send it in on the inside lane. Lost some spots on the initial start, but is still keeping that 27 car in the top 10. And there's a lot of rumors about this 27 car in silly season. This is probably a good race to start talking about silly season, because there have been some things floating around lately. Of course, we already mentioned the Nathan Buchanan thing, which isn't a rumor, that's confirmed. Side by side for the race lead, though. We'll get back to that. Tyler Landry is going to try and take the lead back. I believe he did lead that lap just barely. That looked a lot like Talladega last week. And Landry's going to try and hold on to the lead over the 8 of Darren Walker. Both these drivers have won multiple times this season, and way wide in the corner goes Darren Walker, and that should help Landry clear.
And Walker slid pretty wide there off the exit of turns 1 and 2. Definitely need to be careful, because driving into the corners too far deep on the inside or sliding up too far outside, you'll really be out of the groove, and you'll have to check up quite a bit. And we definitely saw that there out of the 8 of Walker having to check up a bit on the outside lane and losing the lead to Tyler Landry in the process. And now under fire here for 2nd from the 99 of Akira Tajima, with the 88 of Billy Smith back there waiting in the wings. Tyler Landry up the racetrack just a little bit there through turn 2. Not really enough, though, to get himself out of the groove, but might have lost a little bit of time there to the 8 of Darren Walker, who's trying to catch back up and maybe go for the race lead once again.
Getting tight for 3rd here. Tajima's going to slide up the racetrack, and even though it's cloudy and there's more grip on the track than usual, these drivers are still finding it difficult to stay down in the rubbered area on the inside. Tajima's going to lose 3rd to Billy Smith, potentially. Kevin DuPont's going to try and take the spot. Tajima's up the track again and is now under fire from Cooper Spur and Adrian Fearson as they're going to go 3 wide off of turn 2. Turn 2 is often the trouble spot here at Michigan. And one other thing about Michigan is that it is very momentum based. If you mess up one corner, you're going to be feeling that all the way down the straightaway, maybe even through the next corner, depending on how it goes. So you really want to make sure that you hit your marks just right. And here we go, another battle for the race lead. The 8 and the 66 keep swapping it back and forth. And now Billy Smith's trying to get involved in this battle as well as he pushes the 8 out in front. I mean, these two have been putting on a show here early in the race on lap number 8, but Landry's going to wash up the track a bit, and Darren Walker will be clear once again of the 66 car.
So we've been trading the lead back and forth like a game of hot potato these first couple of laps. It's now Darren Walker back out to the front. Landry taking a peek down on the inside of the racetrack. Walker slides up a little bit. And Landry looking to trade the lead back once again as he tries to close in here down the front straightaway. Kevin Dupont in the 1. Looking around the outside, trying to get a draft off the 8 of Walker, but got a bad entry there into turn number 1. So did Walker, and now here comes Landry looking to take the lead back away. Here comes Cooper Spur in the 24 looking for third.
And I tell you what, aside from maybe Mo's Sport, where he finished in third, this is the fastest this 24 car has been this year. It's been a struggle for Cooper Spur, but he has had speed at points, and this clearly is one of the races where he seems to have a lot of pace. Adrian Pearson is still in the top 5, by the way. This 27 is looking very fast. And I do want to talk about the 27 real quick before there's another lead change. There's been some rumors that maybe somebody else is going to be in the 27 next year. It's almost all but confirmed that Pearson's going to be out of that car, actually. But who it might be has been up in the air. You've heard some rumors of possibly Holly Martin having a reunion with NH Motorsports. But again, it's all just rumors right now. We don't know what is going to go on with that 27 car next year. And that 27 has been lagging behind the 77 for its entire existence. So NH Motorsports might take a swing at the fences to get that car up to snuff with the other car at that team.
Definitely been some interesting developments here in silly season. And definitely intrigued to see where everything will end up once we get into the next season. Going to be very exciting, but we've still got this season to close out. And it's been a very exciting season here so far. And this race so far as well has just been really, really fun here, as now Kevin Dupont looking to try and take this race lead away, and they're starting to kind of jam up here towards the front. Like you were kind of talking about, this track, very momentum-based, which means these guys can spread out quite a bit, but still you'll usually see some of these guys sometimes try to accordion together, almost form like little packs throughout this field, and starting to maybe see that a little bit up towards the front, but had a bit of a check up there for third on back in the top 2, looking to try and pull away here.
It's a Honda 1-2-3 right now. Honda, I believe, has 4 wins on the year, 2 of them with Darren Walker and 2 of them with Joanna Clark. Let's just say, not really the leaders of the Honda brigade that we expected, but especially these Walker Brothers racing cars are starting to pull away here on lap number 13. I'm going to take a quick look at where Tim Berry is. Uh-oh, Kate Summers off the pace. Looks like she got into the wall at some point. So that's unfortunate for the Pacific Racing driver. And trying to find where Tim Berry is. There he is, right in the thick of the pack here. Back in 22nd, racing the 08 and the 65. Who, despite the strong start, doesn't seem to have the same race pace. But, I mean, a lot of the other cars that are high up in points are back there. The only one I really see that is up here competing for the win is Tyler Landry. We saw Corbin Taps had a pretty bad start. Most of the Hudson Motorsports cars are back there. Jake Sidney is on the edge of the top 10 here. And, oh boy, Lakin Herndon, not a good corner. He's going to lose a spot to Wheeler. Wheeler's going to throw it in 3 wide through the middle.
Boy.
Just another fantastic move by the 40 car that we've seen as of late. I don't think he's going to get both spots, though. He might get one from Landry, or from Herndon, rather. And they are bottling up for third on back, but these top 2, these teammates, trying to pull away from the rest of the pack here as Cooper Spur continues to hold on to third. Holly Martin up in 4th. Oh, she's going to get into the wall.
Squeeze into the wall.
I don't think that'll do that much damage to a race car, but you really got to watch that wall entering turn 1. I have seen a couple of drivers hit that wall before, and that might have been what happened to Kate Summers, but we're not sure. But the 1 car closing in on the 8, maybe we'll see some more battling for the lead here soon.
All over the back bumper these last couple laps, just trying to look for a way around, or maybe he's even just content with staying in behind his teammate there and just kind of riding it out and trying to pull away from the cars behind, although it looks like they're trying to group up and maybe form a charge as Cooper Spur on back gained a little bit of time that last time around as they're single file out just a little bit. Kevin Dupont a little up the racetrack there. Darren Walker going to pull away a little bit, and that could definitely give these cars back here quite a bit of draft. And yeah, they're starting to close in, so I think it might accordion back together a little bit here for this race lead.
Holly Martin trying to get by Cooper Spur here for third, but not going to be able to get the grip to do it. This is a great run for the 24 car. And these guys are trying to get into the draft of the top two, try and close back in on them. I think the 24 definitely could compete for this win if he's able to catch back up. These two are not sticking to the inside very well. They keep sliding up the racetrack a little bit, and that's helping third through sixth here close in on them. You've got the McPicky teammates of Holly Martin and Tyler Landry, as well as the 88 of Billy Smith here. And then, of course, you've got the rest of these guys back here battling for top 10 spots. Ashley Blake is competing for a top 10 spot, trying to get by Herndon, but Herndon's going to check her up. But here we go. They're battling side by side for the race lead. DuPont got underneath the 8 car, and everybody else is getting roped back into this, so this battle is not over yet. And here comes DuPont trying to get the inside to work through 1 and 2, but Walker's got all the help up top.
Everybody going to go the outside there off the exit of 2 and help that Ada Darren Walker. And really projected him out front there. Holly Martin thought about going through the middle. He's going to try to steal. They're 3 wide as Landry. It's going to peek to the inside as Spur gets put up against the wall. Still 3 wide barely as we head here down the front straightaway. Martin's going to clear Spur on the outside, but the 2 McPicky cars are going to stay side by side. Big checkup from Landry on the inside. How about Billy Smith? Big move through the middle.
We've seen moves through the middle work here before, but once again, you see the 2. Oh yeah, absolutely. This 1 car seems to have a very good entry into turn 3, but ends up checking up when he reaches the back of the 8 car. Oh, they're checking up a lot right here. Holly Martin had a terrible 3 and 4. Billy Smith is going to get into third because of that, and they're going to be 3 wide. I mean, it's crazy. They're 20 laps into the run. The tire wear is really starting to kick in as well. They've got about a second of tire wear right now, but they're still fighting each other relentlessly here up at the front here at Michigan. But the top 3, once again, trying to pull away like they did earlier. They were able to get caught after a few subpar laps. Maybe we'll see the same thing happen, but the 8 and the 1 definitely seem like the 2 fastest cars on the track right now. Billy Smith and Holly Martin going to try and work together to close in on the 2 Hondas, working together as a couple of Chevrolets. And Adrian Wheeler, I just want to shout him out real quick. He's up to 6th now. He started back in 20th. So he's gained a lot of spots since the start of the race. He's also challenging Landry for 5th. So this 40 car might be on the docket for 2 wins in a row if this pace continues throughout the race.
Absolutely. He's been on a heater these past couple of races, and of course got that win at Talladega, looking for 2 in a row. And with how that 40 car has been so far this race, definitely think he might have a shot at this. Kind of spreading out a little bit, though, throughout these top 10 as the tires do start to wear out quite a bit. But still, Kevin DuPont all over the back bumper of the 8 of...
Underneath the 8 of Walker.
And they're going to go side by side here down the backstretch with Billy Smith close again as well.
We're going to be seeing pit stops in about 5 laps, and that should shake things up. We'll have to see how those end up playing out. Walker trying to roll the outside on Kevin DuPont. He's got the help from Billy Smith, and he's got the momentum down the front straightaway, so it looks like he will hold on to the lead. He's definitely led the most laps up here, started on pole. I mean, this 8 car is looking very well tuned for his 3rd win of the season, but he's going to have to hold off a couple of drivers that haven't won yet, the 1 and the 88. Billy Smith almost won back at Pocono and became one of the many victims of Zach Dearman in the closing laps. So that was his best chance of winning. It's another big oval, kind of, I guess, similar in a way to Pocono. So Billy Smith is going to actually get by the 1 of DuPont here, and the 1 is just did not have very much momentum off of turn 4 there. He might lose some more spots to the McPicky duo here as we close in on our green flag pit cycle. I mean, no cautions yet. 24 laps, no incidents. Really, the worst we saw was the 92 getting into the wall. So, very clean race here today. Got to give it up to these drivers for not getting into each other today.
Definitely, and it's not like we haven't seen a bunch of chaotic racing either. They've been 3, 4 wide even sometimes throughout this field, and it's been a spectacle here from Michigan so far. And closing in on that first cycle of pit stops, it definitely has the opportunity to shake things up quite a bit, but we've still got a lot of battles going on here throughout this field. The top two have kind of pulled away, but it's kind of a dogfight behind those guys for third on back. Kevin DuPont looking to get back up to third. Also got Holly Martin still up here, Adrian Wheeler, Landry. How about the 77 up here as well? Cooper Spur still hanging out. And how about the 45 of James Harvin, who's made his way from the back of the field up here as,
here we go.
Aaron Walker's going to be the first to come in.
Right at lap 25, and he appears to be the only one coming in. We'll see how that works out for the 8 car of... Oh my goodness, they're 4
James
wide.
Harvin!
James Harvin, did he just try a 4 wide move right there? Is he going to make it work?
My goodness!
The 45 car, James Harvin, goodness gracious, at least gets 3 spots out of that. I mean, he could have passed those guys on pit road, but I guess it's a lot cooler to do it under green. And here we go. Here comes the next batch of cars to come in. The 88, the 66, 40, 19, 27, and more. Careful not to stack up into the pit lane entry. Tim Berry has not gained that much spots since the start of the race. That 11's not looking very fast, so could be an opportunity for someone like Tyler Landry to dig into that points lead and stay within an outside shot of the championship. But we've got Martin, the 1 of DuPont, the 77 of Boyd, who we haven't really mentioned all day, but he's climbed his way up into the top 10. And he's going to be one of the later pitters here as he almost gets into the back of DuPont, slowing down to get into the pits. And that will have everyone else come in except for Jack Gino. Well, we've got one driver doing the extreme undercut, and that's the 8 of Darren Walker, and we've got the extreme overcut in play as well from the 81 of Gino. It'll be interesting to see how this all cycles out. Billy Smith way ahead of Tyler Landry in the pits. That was an insane pit stop from Billy Smith, and he might jump the 8 of Darren Walker out of the pits. What an incredible job by the 88 crew.
Still needs to get up to speed. Here comes Darren Walker with a full head of steam, but it looks like at the very least, Billy Smith is going to come out quite close to that 8 of Darren Walker as here they go down the front straightaway. We'll see if the 88 can maybe hold him off here going into turn number 1. Going to force him onto the outside. There's the 45 of James Harvin coming out of the pit lane. And we'll also have to see, actually, did James Harvin lead that group off?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. Well,
Martin did not have a great pit stop. James Harvin is on a mission here. Is the 2 car on the lead lap? Spencer Rallison. He is going by the 66. We're going to have to see where he is. And here we go. For the race lead, Darren Walker is going to get past the 88. Jack Gino leaving the pits now. And yes, the 2 is on
Rallison
the lead lap.
is on the lead lap. Wow.
Spencer Rallison.
And Tim Berry.
And also Tim Berry. You just can't count him out. He always finds a way. But more interestingly, Spencer Rallison up in the top 5. I did not see that coming. Incredible pit stops for some of these drivers. Very impressive what they've been doing. But the 8 and the 88 have pulled away here. Where on earth is Kevin DuPont? There he is. Not even in the top 10 anymore.
Definitely really spread everybody out and really shake things up quite a bit, as well as now Spencer Rallison up here inside of the top 5. And yeah, Tim Berry definitely got to give a call to that strategy call on the 11 team as looking to try and hold on to that points gap that he has. And he's right behind his closest competitor, at least where they're running on the racetrack right now, the 66 of Tyler Landry. So, yeah, definitely a great call there out of both the 11 and the 2 crew, as now they are going to be up here and might even have a chance to win this thing if they can close into the top 2.
Yeah, worth noting, Corbin Taps, who's second in points, has been absolutely nowhere all race long. I believe he's running 24th right now, so that's not the kind of race that he wanted to have here late in the going. This battle's not over yet. Here comes Billy Smith in the 88, trying to get underneath the 8 of Darren Walker, but it looks like he had to check up a little bit, and I feel like unless we get a yellow, the battle for the win is just going to be between these two drivers. We're going to have to see how quickly these guys can close in, and it's not quickly at all. This 2 car, though, has a lot of pace. I mean, we saw him drive around Tyler Landry. I mean, Landry's not an easy driver to pass, so this is some impressive stuff from the Amateur Series driver, and now he's closing in on James Harvard. This 2 car has a lot of pace. I'm very impressed by Spencer Rallison here. I mean, it was the crew, the pit crew that got him up here to begin with, but he has been holding his own and even outrunning a lot of the cars around him. So, gotta tip your cap to Spencer Rallison here, currently running in P4.
Absolutely. Like you said, this 2 car is looking very, very sporty here after that pit cycle, and now looking to close in on 3rd here on the 45 of James Harvin. Or at least Barry goes up the racetrack a little bit there through 1 and 2. And now Rallison drafting off the 45 of James Harvin. We'll see if they try and go for the 3rd position or sticking behind the 45. Looks like they're going to try to peek to the inside here through turns 3 and 4. Harvin got just enough of a run there, though, on the outside to stay clear, but I don't know. We'll see if they end up closing not a lot. So yeah, I think I'm with you there. As long as this race stays green, I think it might just come down to these 2.
Darren Walker and Billy Smith. Side by side for 3rd. Rallison tries to pass the 45. It looked like he had the momentum there, but he wasn't quite able to do it. Now here comes Tim Berry around the outside, trying to go into P4. And there's an interesting bit of history here that Tim Berry is trying to set. The all-time top 5s record is 9, and that was done in a 16-race Season 1 by Jack Gino. Berry currently has 8 top 5s. He can match that if he gets just 1 more. As you see him go around the outside of Spencer Rallison to move into P4, he's well on his way to doing that, which is crazy because he was outside the top 20 for that entire first run, but again, he just finds a way, and that's the reason why he has that massive points lead to begin with. So that's not really surprising to see Tim Berry doing what he does best. Might even try and get around James Harvin for 3rd here soon, as we're inching in on 15 laps to go here at Michigan. This 8 and 88 are still nose to tail, so it's still either one of them that can win this race. They're both looking pretty good right now. I couldn't tell you which one of them's looking better because, I mean, the 8's got the lead, but the 88 has been sticking the nose under many, many times. I think he just needs to find the right opportunity to get past Darren Walker here.
And Billy Smith has been able to just stay right in behind that 8 of Darren Walker and has made a couple of attempts so far maybe here to take the race lead. But yeah, like you said, I think he just needs the opportunity. Right there, Walker able to hold him off once again, but just one tiny slip up there from Darren Walker, and I think Billy Smith is absolutely going to be ready to pounce.
And Darren Walker has the oldest tires in the field as well, so that's also something to keep in mind. Tire wear definitely matters here at Michigan, especially later on in the run. So once we start getting into the final laps, it might be a bit easier for the 88 to try and get past this 8 car of Darren Walker. So that is something to keep in mind. We got to watch out for that 8 car possibly sliding up the racetrack, which is something that he did a lot on the first run. So again, he very prone to sliding up the racetrack, this 8 car is. So watch out for Billy Smith possibly being able to take advantage of that if that does happen to Darren Walker. The 88's been driving it very deep into the corners, trying to stick the nose underneath, but he has not been able to just yet. But there's still plenty of time for him to make that move on Darren Walker. He just bides his time, waits for the right moment. He can definitely make that pass.
Absolutely. Like I said, he's just been able to stay at the back bumper of that 8 machine of Darren Walker, doing a great job of being ready to pounce, and they're battling amongst themselves back here as James Harvin takes the spot back to Tim Berry, who got by him a couple laps ago. But Barry still all over the back bumper of the 45 of James Harvin. Spencer Rallison trying to fend off the 66 of Tyler Landry. And I'm sure these guys probably don't want to be doing this if they do want to have any shot at catching the top two, because they could maybe still have a shot if these two go side by side and start battling amongst themselves. But time is starting to run out. We got 11 coming to 10 laps to go. And the gap from second on back is looking to increase a little bit here.
Yeah, it was about 2.3 seconds at the start of the cycle, got down to about 2.0, almost less than 2 seconds, and it's back to 2.3 again as the 45 and the 11 started battling each other again. So I don't think they're going to catch them under green. I think it would have to take something happening to the top two in order for them to get a chance at the win without a caution. But we have seen some crazy things happen. I mean, you think back to the Watkins Glen race where it looked like Darren Walker and Jacob Lopez would be battling for the win, and then they got into an accident. Third and fourth place got collected as well, and all of a sudden that left Joanna Clark and Kate Summers to fight each other for the win. So you never know what can happen, especially at a place like Michigan. It looks like the 8 is starting to run away from the 88 just a little bit over these last couple of laps. Billy Smith has not really been able to work the inside as much as he has earlier. So we'll see. We'll see if that continues as we approach the closing laps of the race. Battle for fourth here. Spencer Rallison trying to pass the points leader around the outside, and it looks like he might be able to do it going into turn 3. The 11's still going to have a bit of a nose to the inside, though. But he checks up in the corner. Rallison's going to make the pass.
Big check up.
He's going to move up to fourth.
Tires are really starting to out. We're really getting to the tail end of that run. We just saw it. We really had to get out of the gas there on the inside and cost him quite a bit of time. Ooh.
That was a
Darren
good
Walker
corner.
up the track a little bit. Billy Smith was able to roll the bottom there quite well and close the gap up quite a bit.
And he feels that, again, he feels that errant turn 2 all the way down the backstretch as well, and that allows the 88. He checked up a little bit in 3 and 4 there, but it allows the 88 to close back in. So, again, that wasn't as bad as it could have been for the 8 of Darren Walker, but you definitely got to keep an eye on that car. Again, oldest tires in the field. Walker's already slid up the track several times before. If he slides up the track enough, that'll give Billy Smith an opportunity. That's a good corner there for Billy Smith. Went in a little high in the middle and then drove it down on exit. That's really the ideal line you want to be taking through the corner, especially late in the run. Didn't gain a ton on that 8 car, though, so we'll have to see if that opportunity ends up presenting itself for Billy Smith, looking for his second career win, his first one since winning the Lumen 500. But Darren Walker's looking pretty good right now as we come to 6 laps to go.
Smith looking for a charge here for the race lead. He's drawing in Walker more and more there. Had a good line there through 1 and 2. I think 88 is working quite well there in 1 and 2, but honestly, it kind of just seems like so far this run 3 and 4 has been Billy Smith's Achilles heel. But a decent run there through 3 and 4. He's had to check up in that corner quite a bit, but trying to still hang with that 8 of Darren Walker. And like I said, just one mistake, one slip up out of Darren Walker, and Billy Smith is going to be right there if he can stay close to him.
Oh, Billy Smith's going a little wide, but Walker's
Oh,
going
but
to
so
go
did
wide on the
Walker.
exit. Billy Smith's going to get a bit of a run. There you go. You're starting to see the tires go away on the 8 car with 5 laps to go. He was lucky that Billy Smith didn't have a great corner either, but if the 8 does that again, Billy Smith's going to have an opportunity here. This battle for the lead is far from over. Billy Smith's just been waiting for the right time, and I think the time is approaching here for the 88. We're just going to have to see how they get through 1 and 2 again. Good corner for both of them that time. The 8 definitely with a bit of a slower exit, though, but again, not enough for the 88 to really mount a charge on him. We're going to be coming to 3 laps to go next time by. We'll see if Billy Smith's able to get that opportunity. He's driving it deep into turn number 4. He's gotten alongside the 8 of Walker. They're going to be side by side down the front straightaway, coming to 3 to go.
That was it right there. Darren entered turn 3 and 4 a bit too high. Entered out of the groove and had to check up there going into the corner. And that allowed Billy Smith to get down to the inside, and it looks like he's going to clear here through turns 1 and 2, but
not
it's not
quite.
quite over
Look at
yet.
the
Walker
run
has
that
a
8
run on
got.
the outside.
That was a big run on the outside for Darren Walker. He's trying to keep his foot in it here. This race is far from over. Bad turn 3 for Billy Smith, and you've just seen it lap after lap. He's checked up a ton in the corners. They're still side by side, coming to 2 laps to go. Walker with an incredible defense here from Billy Smith. And I guess, look at this. Here comes everybody else. I don't think they've got enough time to catch him, though. We'll see. But Darren Walker with a good 1 and 2. It looks like he might clear Billy Smith here. What an outstanding defense from the 8 car. And there's only a lap and a half to go. I don't know if Billy Smith's going to get another opportunity at it.
Lost quite a bit of momentum there through turns 1 and 2. We'll have to see if he can get regrouped quick enough. That was a pretty good 3 and 4 by Smith. If he can get close enough, he might have one more shot here on the last lap in 3 and 4.
1 lap to go here at Michigan. We've seen so many last lap passes this season. There is a possibility for another one, but a good 1 and 2 there from Darren Walker, and it looks like he might be able to hold on the older tires. Billy Smith's going to try and draft up. Spencer Rallison's looking for a podium, but here we go, going through turns 3 and 4. Darren Walker is poised and collected. I don't think Billy Smith's got enough. Darren Walker had to fight for it, but he's going to get win number 3 on the season here at Michigan.
What a battle for the lead late in the going.
Billy Smith's going to have to settle for second again. Spencer Rallison finishes third. That is the best finish for the 2 car all year. James Harvin fourth. Tim Berry ties Jack Gino's top 5's record.
Hey, take a peek at PA.
Nathan Buchanan, that's 2 starts in the 08 and 2 top 10s for him. And this one he got from 29th place, so I'm sure Patriot Racing Incorporated are very excited about their new driver going into next year, as he is impressed in that part-time car, for sure. But it's the 8 of Darren Walker who comes away with the win here. He becomes the 3rd driver this season to reach 3 wins. And I mean, before that, only 1 driver had reached 3 wins at all, and that was Joe Smith back in season 1. But we've seen Tyler Landry, Zach Dearman, and now Darren Walker do it. And what a race that was. A great battle between Darren Walker and Billy Smith. And I know he lost the race, but Billy Smith's got to be feeling pretty good about that one. He's had a pretty up and down first full-time season in that 88 car. But he's had a few pretty good runs like that. That's definitely got to make him feel good. Here you see your race results. Everybody finished on the lead lap in this race, and again, the only real incident that we didn't even really see it, but the only incident we know that happened, the 92 of Kate Summers got into the wall at some point. She ended up finishing in last. Not a good day for Pacific Racing. Their struggles continue, and a lot of the cars that started up towards the front did not end up with good finishes, like Tamron Bellinger, Akia Tajima, Joanna Clark, all had pretty solid starting spots, but they just did not have the race pace. And there again, you see her top 10. We pretty much pointed out everyone. Zach Dearman, Charlie McCarron sneaking in top 10s as well. Tyler Landry in the 66 finishes 6th. JT Boyd in the 77 finishes 7th. As you would come to expect, of course. But Caleb, that was a pretty good race. Maybe take us through what happened here, some of your thoughts on what happened. And maybe give us a preview for the next race, which is going to be the longest race on the schedule at the Texas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, just absolutely. What a race that was here for Michigan. Saw a lot of great action, a lot of great battles, and especially a great lead battle there towards the end there from Dylan Walker and Billy Smith. And just, like I said, a lot of great racing throughout the field, which we've honestly kind of been accustomed to seeing here from the Michigan International Speedway. But a very fun race. Very great win there for the 8 of Darren Walker. And yeah, definitely, like you say, got to give credit there to Billy Smith for sticking with him and giving us a really great lead battle there at the end. And also a big shout out to Spencer Allison bringing it home there in a podium position. And I guess week after week, the question of how that 2 car was able to take a point provisional starts to come to light quite a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. We've only got 5 races left in the season. Yeah, 5 races left. I was just making sure. We are getting down to the nitty gritty here for sure. And that championship is going to be very out of reach at this point. Tim Berry finished 5th. I know Landry finished 6th, only 1 spot behind him, but Corbin Taps was nowhere to be found today. And I think the hopes that anyone could mount a charge towards the late season might be dashed now with that 9th top 5 for Tim Berry. So, I mean, I felt pretty safe calling him the champion at about race 11, but I definitely feel pretty safe here. But there is still time for something crazy to happen, so it's not mathematically over for a lot of these guys. But that run from Tim Berry, that could have easily been one of those races where Landry gained a ton of points on him, but his pit crew put him where he needed to be, and he ended up with a top 5 result. So as far as the championship, I don't think there's much left to fight for, but there's definitely a lot to fight for in terms of winning races because we've still got Texas, we've still got North Wilkesboro, Willow Springs, Darlington, and Las Vegas left. Of course, Texas is going to be the Lone Star 600. That's going to be a 100-lap race at Texas. It was already the longest race in the season, but it is even longer now. So that's going to be a fun one to watch for sure. Basically our version of the Coca-Cola 600. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's broadcast. Thank you so much, Caleb, for joining me in the booth. And on behalf of Caleb Rose, this is Brennan Wilmington of the Left Turn Network signing out. Here are your point standings after race number 23 of the season, which will be on your screen right now.